There was a big turnout last night in Wisconsin, Connecticut, and Rhode Island for uncommitted. But she is not uncommitted. This lady right here.
Oh, God.
I believe her husband is actually uncommitted. He's uncommitted. He's perennially uncommitted. But Hillary Clinton is not uncommitted for this election. So here she is on Jimmy Fallon because Jimmy Fallon asked her, what do you have to say to people who are dissatisfied with the choices in 2024 being Joe Biden and Donald Trump? Let's take a listen.
But it's Biden versus Trump.
Yes,
we know that.
It is. It is.
What do you say to voters who are upset that those are the two choices?
Get over yourself. Those are the two choices.
Yeah, love that.
Right? And
love that.
You know,
love that. I'm a fucking moron. I haven't learned a single thing in 45 years. I'm a man-child. I'm still a 10-year-old kid trapped in an adult's body. Great idea. Great. Love that. Love that. What an idiot. You know, this is the only place you could probably say that. Like, if there's one place you're guaranteed not to get any pushback at all, it's on the Jimmy Fallon show. But anyway, we'll let this play through. Go ahead, CJ. Do you have something I had real quick?
No, I'll let it play because my critique is what he was about to say. So since you're going to let it play, I'll let it play and then I'll say something.
Gotcha.
Voters who are upset that those are the two choices.
Get over yourself. Those are the two choices.
Yeah, love that.
Right? And
good.
You know, it's kind of like one is old and effective and compassionate, has a heart.
Oh, yeah.
And really cares about people. And one is old and has been charged with 91 felonies.
One is old and has facilitated the slaughter of 40,000 Palestinians. One is old and made jokes about my emails. See? So who's worse? You tell me.
And
evil, yeah.
And why I wanted to have Jimmy Fallon, I thought he expounded more for some reason. That's what I remember about this clip. But he says, yeah, I like that. This just illustrates how Hollywood knows what industry, what people can completely end their sort of, dream life. And that is these people in the government, because they kowtow to them all the time. I mean, you think Jimmy Fallon doesn't know what people have said over and over about what she's done in Libya? You think she doesn't know? You think he doesn't know that? I don't think he doesn't know that. But when she comes on the show, he pretends like she's this beacon of, womanhood that women and young women should look up to. And he's just saying, yeah, I like that. Get mean. Like, what do you like about that, Jimmy Fallon? Like, what do you like about saying, forget about democracy, this is your choices? What do you like about that, Hollywood? I don't understand how that comports with democracy in my view, but go ahead, Nick.
This is why I say the United States is the most propagandized country in the world. People think the propaganda is just in the newsroom. No, it's at the late night shows as well.
Absolutely.
This guy is probably the least funniest person I've ever seen in my life. And I am not saying that for a laugh. I am saying I have seen many clips of this guy in my 32 years of living.
He's not
I have legitimately never laughed at a clip of this guy ever before.
Yeah.
What's the name of the other guy? The other big late night show?
Stephen Colbert.
Stephen Colbert and the other guy. Who's the other guy?
Oh, the guy who's on
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel. I get all of them confused, guys. I'm so out of the loop with pop culture. Like Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, all these people the same to me. Like all of them people, I have legitimately never laughed at the joke of these people. And I'm not bullshitting you. I could be stoned as hell. And when I'm stoned, I laugh at everything. Like I watch bad Netflix movies, I'll be cracking up. I would be stoned, I still wouldn't laugh at their jokes. And you know how crazy that is? My niece, who's 8 years old, can crack me up if I'm stoned.
Well, to be fair, Jimmy Kimmel did not start out as a comedian. They he started out doing something else, just being a random guy talking on a show, I believe.
He was the sidekick on Win Ben Stein's Money. He was just kind of hung around. He would ask trivia questions, and then he would pepper in jokes. No, it's true. There are a lot of people who could play a good sidekick, but who can't carry a show on their own. And I think that's him. Like, he could sit around peppering in wisecracks, but as a centerpiece,
Yeah, and see, drop right to you. But my point being with that is, how do they get the show then? Like, do anyone believe that he's like, because you would think, and this kind of like my mindset when I was a sweet summer child growing up, that people get this position because they earned it. Like, you would think They're late night TV hosts that make millions of dollars. That's like the NBA of the comedians. Like if you're being a comedian, that's like you making the NBA of like that's the top level. You're the all-star team. So you would think the most funniest person in the world will be at those tables, right? Like the people who climbed the absolute top of comedy will be at late night TV show, but they're not. Now I understand that this is basic, but why do you think that is? It's propaganda everywhere we go. You don't make it based on your talent. You make it based on whether you're going to endorse Hillary Clinton like 50 Cent and P. Diddy. Those are the people who made it. You know how many good rappers are on the underground? CJ, I'm sure you know too. I'm a big underground hip hop head. Guys, the people who make it in the mainstream are the most garbage rappers in the country. The best rappers are the people you see in the street. You know why they don't make it? Because they're not the motherfuckers who are going to do a vote and die campaign.
Right. Right.
Like, it's
exactly.
everywhere, but go ahead, Ken and CJ.
No, that's true. It's mass entertainment for a mass audience, and you have to be bland enough to appeal kind of to everybody, to not offend everybody, which means you can't have an actual point of view except the point of view of the person who's going to nod along as she says what she says. But we're about halfway through this clip, so let me just finish it up.
Yeah. I mean,
okay, interesting.
I don't understand why this is even a hard choice, really. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But we have to go through the election, and hopefully people will realize what's at stake, because it's an existential question. What kind of country we're going to have, what kind of democracy we're going to have. And people who blow that off are not paying attention, because it's not like Trump, his enablers, his empowerers, his allies are not telling us what they want to do. I mean, they're pretty clear about what kind of country they want.
Yeah,
they want to throw a few Democrats in jail, which would be great and fun, in my opinion. I'm ready for a little bit of fascism from Donald Trump, to be honest. All right? You're telling me Hillary Clinton doesn't belong in jail anyway? You're telling me Eric Swalwell doesn't belong in jail anyway? Fuck it. I don't care. I'm ready for it. It's not, the idea that, well, this shouldn't be a hard choice. I mean, notice they don't improve. Their messaging does not improve. Their game does not improve, because in the minds of these Hillary Clinton-type Democrats, we've already done all we can for you. Like, this is the end of history. This is post-Cold War neoliberalism running out of steam, to the point where 8 years after Donald Trump, they still have the same exact talking points. Their speeches sound exactly the same now as they did then, as it pertains to Trump, as it pertains to all these other issues, whether it's climate change, abortion. They sound the same as they did when I was literally a child. Joe Biden's speech last month, that State of the Union was lifted, could have been half of it from Bill Clinton's State of the Union. It is the same boilerplate nonsense, because that is where end of history neoliberalism will take you by design. That's why that book, The End of History, came out after the fall of the USSR. This is now the program. It is market capitalism with some tweaks around the edges to keep the working poor where they are, so they don't fall through the net, but they don't climb up the ladder. That is their program, and they have to stick with it no matter what. Now you throw a genocide in on top of that, and she's up here saying, well, it's between a guy with a heart and a guy with no heart. Are you fucking kidding? Are you fucking kidding? It's just incredible. And last point, and then I'll toss to you guys. She says, get over yourself. These are the only two choices. What she's implying there, probably correctly, because the people who are watching NBC at midnight are probably this cohort. She's implying that no one in the country has any real problems to overcome. Nobody in the country needs change. Nobody in the country needs transformation, revolution, right? Everybody is just picking who they like best. And so get over yourself. If there's not a person you love, go with the person who you hate least, as if none of this is of any real consequence to anyone's lives. And to the TV audience, that's probably true. People who are watching Jimmy Fallon probably don't have any real problems. They probably have nothing at stake.
So they're nodding along. Though that group of people that you described, they're nodding along. And when you were describing this, all I was thinking of the professional managerial class. This is, you're describing them, where in their world, and it's almost, and if you're just thinking about it on just a physical conscious level, why would they be thinking of anything other than what's happening in their lives, which is a mundane life that is filled with, regular dentist appointments and, regular religious celebrations of holidays, just the regular life. And, the March of Dimes, let's go. It's like where activism is not a means to actually reach a goal. It's just a means of making you feel better, a way to socialize with a like-minded group. That's all for the professional. It's not a means to actually attain anything. And this is what makes the coalition between us and social democrats problematic, because that is their goal. That is, they don't have the same goal. So this is what makes it problematic. But yeah.
No, it's all about expressing yourself. It is a politics of self-expression and community building around self-expression. That's why the culture wars dominate the news, because that's all that is. You are virtue signaling your cultural stances. Whether or not those actually map onto lived reality for 99.9% of people in the case of like trans women in sports or things like that, doesn't matter. It's an opportunity to express who you are, and that is all this is about for so many people who are tuned into that kind of news. Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, and I've been watching an unhealthy amount of corporate media preparing for my shows because I've been trying to break down empire propaganda. And I've been watching these Trump derangement segments, and they're like the funniest shit to me. I don't watch news to be informed. I watch it for entertainment. It's so funny because do they understand they make Trump way cooler than he actually is? Like they make Trump sound like a fucking badass. Bro, I want Trump to do everything you guys said he's going to do. Now, I am opposed to duopolis. I believe Trump is a cuck. Trump said he was going to lock her up the first time. Why is she still on Jimmy Fallon, my friends? Trump is not going to do none of this shit. But they go on these late night shows. They make this motherfucker sound cool as hell. Trump about to lock up all his political enemies. Yes, I want him to lock all you motherfuckers
do it. Trump was going to leave NATO. It's like, what? You want me to vote for him?
I was just about to say that. They're like, Trump about to dismantle NATO. I'm like, oh my God. Come on, bro.
You guys are going to have to start selling Trump t-shirts out of your RBN store.
See, I'm post duopolis. So I'll be seeing these segments. I'm like, bro, you're going to make motherfuckers vote for him. Stop saying this shit. So I found that very humorous. That's how out of touch they are.
Please clap.